How do you have so many of those, like the street food huts?
What do you mean?
Like, you have so many of the same
What are you
things.
talking about?
Like, you know that, like the app for
Oh, you can make that.
no, not that one.
Those are just some of the other things in. Don't
Oh,
worry about
okay.
that. All right, we'll get started now. So today we're gonna be creating our first function for this project. We're gonna be creating the select item function. So pretty much what this function is gonna do is here. Let me show you. What this function does here, takes the value, like it processes the value that you're, and also stores the amount of money that it is for like the item that you chose. So that's pretty much the purpose of this function. So for this to work, hopefully you guys completed your appetizer select IDs. So right now mine looks like this, but yours should have been complete like the CSS at least like this. I remember two of the two people showed theirs in the last session. So something like that. Those were great examples for you guys to follow. So that's where you guys should be right now. But yeah, we'll get started. As a reminder, first, functions are in the script tags in your code. So right, our style tag, we want to have our tags. Over here, we're going to type select item. And then since we're having a function where we're specifying what kind of since we have three different categories, we have an appetizer, a main, and a beverage, we want to take that as a parameter for this function. So we're also, and then we can just put our curly braces and click enter. And now you see that that red squiggly line right under select item is gone because now this is a declared function, although it's still, there's going to be no errors now. All right, so before we get actually start coding in this function, so we want to have pictures for each one of these items, right? For each one of the items in our for each one of the items in our web page. So you want to have an item for each one of these images. Items. So we want to first go to Chrome or any browser that you guys are using right now and just search up the name of your food item. So we're gonna open this into one folder. This is gonna be you created this project. So I made this in my web development folders. I'm gonna type that in. Go to this folder. And over here, I'm gonna create a new folder by right-clicking, and then name this folder this. And then I'm gonna just click here, and I'll wait for a moment and let me know once you guys are all caught up. So we're making this folder in our existing folder where all our files are, and the website that we're making is, which is this one right here, is the final project.html. These are from the previous, I think the first time where I was using some example code. So we're mainly looking at this, and we're having this images folder. So in this particular folder, because then when we're accessing these images, VS Code knows, or the coding platform that we're in right now knows that these are the images that we're referring. So if you notice, I have all these other folders, right? So earlier Duty was mentioning that I had like I'm not sure what folder it was in, but you can also see it in this folder right here. I have key.png, log.png, pic.png. So these are all pictures that I used in this project called user side for HTML, right? So this file or this project is only referring to these pictures, not the pictures that are going to be in this folder in the Atmiya web development one. So that's why we want to make sure that we make an images folder like this, where we're going to be putting all our pictures of our food items.
Can you like do
have you guys all made the folder images?
no, can you like do the whole
Let me know
thing?
in the meeting chat if you
When you were like doing the thing, I was like I was coding. Like I was typing, so can you do the thing again?
Yeah, for sure. So all we did was we went to that folder where we created Atmiya web development, or whatever folder that you made, and then I just right clicked and I clicked new folder to make a new folder, and then I named mine images, and I clicked enter, and that's it. So I'll give you guys about 10 minutes to just get all your pictures. You don't have to get all of them. Just actually, yeah, you don't have to get all of them. Just try to get most of them. So you just want whatever you, so let's do like
Your voice is breaking.
Italian food. When you're getting, make sure that the file size.
Your voice is breaking.
Can you guys hear me right now?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So
But
is
like
it fine right now?
sometimes your voice is breaking and then sometimes it's not.
Oh,
Like
okay. Okay, so right now, so we're just gonna get some images, and also when we're picking an image, we want to make sure that the file type is PNG, right? So if I just right click on this and I click save image as, I'm gonna try to find the folder where I have made the previous images folder. So I'm gonna try to find images. Or I could just put in my downloads and then change it there. So I'm gonna name this main one.png. So you want to be specific with the naming conventions that we use, because when we're actually coding all the pictures, we can't actually see them while we're coding, right? So it's going to get really confusing if we don't name them specifically. So I'm going to name this one main one.png, and then I'm just going to click save. PNG, and I'm down. I'm specifically put it into I'm gonna put it into my images folder right here by pasting it. So I just control copy it, and then control P here, and I pasted it. So now that we have this image in the picture in the folder right here, I'm going to do this with all my pictures, and you guys should go ahead and do that as well. So we'll reconvene at 11:25. Now, what you guys are trying to do is you guys are trying to get 3 pictures for the appetizer, 3 pictures for the main course, as well as 3 pictures for the beverages. And then you want to save them all into the same folder. And over here, I named this one main1.png. So if you were looking at the appetizer, I would name it appetizer1.png or app1. Whatever kind of image or file type that you guys are using, I would recommend PNG. And then for beverages, I'll just do bev1.file type. Was everyone able to hear what I was talking like right now? Because I see that my voice is breaking. Like, were you guys able to hear everything that I just said, or did something like break and you guys don't understand? I can go over it again. All right, I'm just gonna exit this meeting and then I'll rejoin. But while I do that, you guys keep working on trying to find some pictures.
Sure, Rushita, you can exit and rejoin. I'll make you the co-host immediately.
So how do you like save the photo like into the folder again?
Duty, let's wait for Rushita. She'll come back.
Okay. Is she back?
Yeah, I just joined.
Okay. So how do you make the image in your image folder?
You just save it to that folder.
Like how do you say?
So wait one sec. So you want to go to the folder where where you have all your where you created the final project.html. So I created that in my Atmiya web development folder. So I went to that folder and then I made another folder called images by right clicking and clicking new folder.
Wait, can you pause for a second? I'm looking for it. Okay, I'm there.
And then you right click and you click new folder.
Yeah, I made the new folder.
And then you want to name it images.
I already did that. So I already like made the folder. All I'm doing it, all I'm asking you is like how I save it.
So to save it to this, so you could either just drag it from Chrome. So you could I think you could honestly just like drag it. Yeah, you could just drag it like that and then you could name it whatever you want. So you want to name it like main 2 maybe, for example, and just click enter and that's it. So you just name it like that and then that's how you can save it here. Otherwise, if you want to save it from the browser itself instead of dragging it, you can just right click on here and then click save image as, and then over here just save it to your downloads or directly.
Okay, I got it. I got it.
Okay, great.
Oh wait, I forgot to mute my screen.
So is everyone pretty much done with getting all their pictures, or do you guys think you need more time? Let me know in the chat and we'll move forward accordingly. Like, do you guys need like 5 more minutes or are we good to move on? All right, so I think you guys might need a little bit more time. Does 11:30 sound good or 11:35? Oh, right, we just got your issue fixed, so does 11:35 sound okay for everyone? Okay. You guys, it's 11:35 right now, so we're gonna begin to move on. But it's okay if you didn't get all your pictures. We'll have some time later on too. We'll just kind of get started with the rhythm and like how
Can we have like 3 more minutes or like 1 more minute?
we'll move on right now for now, but we'll get back to this because after we go over this first part, you guys will be on your own for a little bit, so you can do that then.
Okay.
All right, so if you guys come on over to your head tags, go to your appetizer and your main course, like where you made the drop down menus. So we're going to be refining these a bit now. So now that we made the function called select item, we want to call this function in the drop down menus, right? Because the whole purpose of the select item function is so that when we click a specific item in the drop down menu, we get the correct image to show up. So right now we're going to be using an event handler. So if you guys remember, we talked about event handlers in the third session, I'm pretty sure, if I'm not wrong, but so pretty much event handlers, what they do is when you click it, something happens. When you hover over it, something happens. When you change it, something happens. So right now, that something is going to be that a function called select item will occur when the event handler goes through. So right here, the event handler we're using is on change. And right here, we want to type our function name, so select item. And then if you guys notice, we have a parameter called food type. So right here, by parameter, I mean select item is going to work according to whatever section we select. So when we're selecting an appetizer, it's going to go through the appetizer options. So it's going to first specify, okay, they're looking at appetizers right now, so they're going to choose one of these. Or if they're looking through the main course right now, they're going to go through one of these. By them, I mean like the user, right? So for the parameter right now for select item, we want to type in parentheses and quotes, and I'm just going to type in appetizer for my parameter ID. So this is pretty much what food type, the variable food type is right now. And
Can I have like a minute to type all that?
yeah.
Like,
All right, so now that we on change, first we're calling the function called select item and we're specifying appetizer. Let's go ahead and do the same thing for the main course. So I'm just gonna Control C, Control V it, I'm gonna copy paste it, and then over here I'm gonna change this to main. And also over here, I didn't mention the prices. I forgot to do that, but you guys make sure that you do that. So I'm just gonna put a comma and then type in whatever price you want to make yours. And then now back to our select item function. So first of all, we want to create a variable. We want to make a variable called image. So I'm going to do let image equals, and then just empty an empty string. So by putting quotes here, I'm specifying that this variable is going to be a string variable. So it's going to be holding some kind of text or some kind of, it could, yeah, so it's going to be holding some kind of text, right? So we're making that variable. So the purpose of this variable is finally, after we choose the specific item that we want to get the ID of that item and then display it. And we're going to be setting the source tags to this image variable so that finally when we display it, we can just get get where the image is in your computer from this variable called image. So this will make more sense as we start coding more of this function. So first, right now, we're going to be implementing an if statement. So do you guys remember what if statements are from the last session? Let me know in the meeting chat. Otherwise, we'll just be doing a little review of that. Just type in the meeting chat if you guys kind of remember what if statements, if else statements are. All right, so let's do a refresher on that since I think everyone might need a refresher right now. So if statements, it's just, sorry, was someone speaking? Okay, so if statements are just conditionals, so if this, then this code will take place. Else, if this, which is pretty much just like saying otherwise, this code will take place. So right now, our first if statement is going to be specifying, okay, so is it an appetizer, is it a main course, or are they choosing a beverage? So first, let's specify that. So we're just going to type if, and then we're going to type in the parentheses, we're going to take the parameter food type, and we're going to specify this to appetizer. And then we're just going to do curly braces around that. And now when the code registers that, okay, so the user clicked appetizer and they're choosing an appetizer right now, it's gonna do, okay, so if they clicked appetizer, let's go through this code, the code that we're going to be coding in the if statements for this. So we typed in appetizer from right here, so we want to have the same name both over here in select item when we're creating the appetizer drop down menu, as well as over here when we're specifying that the food type is appetizer. We want to make sure that that's the same name. So right now, we also want to make sure that we have comments to go along with this code so that we know what's happening in each step of the function, right? So we're just going to do 2 slashes, and then we're going to type just specifying what we're doing, right? So over here, we're pretty much just checking So this is pretty much what we're doing in this line of code on line 25. So I'm just specifying that right here so that when we come back to this code, we know exactly what's going on. All right, so after we know that the user clicked appetizer, we want to know exactly what picture they chose, right? We want to know if they clicked avocado toast or if they clicked fruit salad. So to know that, we're going to be giving in the appetizer drop-down menu, we're going to be giving this an ID. So right here where it says option, I'm going to click space. And then I want to type in value. And I'm going to be giving this drop-down menu option a value of app 1. And I want you guys to go ahead and do this for all of them. So over here, type value and then give the specific appetizer names for each one. So for the second one, I'm going to do app 2, so appetizer 2, and then app 3. And I actually made 2 more, app 4 and 5, but you guys don't really have to make these many. And I want you guys to go ahead and also do this for the main course. So let me know when you guys are done with that in the chat, and then we'll move on. Hey guys, please let me know in the meeting chat right now where you guys are, if you're done giving all the options values, or if we're still at that part. All right, so we'll be moving on right now. If you guys need more time, let me know. But otherwise, we'll go on with the function. So now that we gave the options values, we want to specify that in our function as well. So we want to first get the dropdown. So by getting the dropdown, I mean we want to know that they clicked appetizer. We want to specify that, and then we want to specifically get the item that they selected in the appetizer, right? So to do that, we need to first create a variable that is going to be accessing each one of those parts for us. So by that, I mean we want to access the drop-down menu and we want to access the selected appetizer, right? So first, let's create a variable called drop-down menu or drop-down. And I don't know if I already mentioned this, but we always want to make the second second words first letter a capital. This is called camel case. It's commonly used in, not commonly, it's always used in coding. So we always want to have the second words first letter a capital as a capital. So here we want to get the drop down ID or the section that the user clicked in the drop down menus that we have, right? So to do this, we want to do a document dot get element by ID. So the ID that we're getting right here is going to be the appetizers. So it's this ID right here. So you can just copy and paste that. So we want to put a semicolon right after that to indicate that we're finished with this line of code. It's just good practice to always have the semicolon right after. And then we just want to click enter. Oh, I see that someone needed more. I think it was Duty. I think you needed more time, right? That's completely fine. You don't have to get everything done right now because we technically only need one of these to work to see if all of our code is working. So yeah. So now that we know that we're getting the appetizer drop down, we also want to get the specific menu option in that. So to, I guess you could say, like, specify which option we're getting, we're going to make a variable called selected appetizer. So I'm going to make this a global variable. So a global variable is different from a local variable. So this right here is a local variable because it's inside of a function, which means it only exists in the function and it can only be used inside the function. So a global variable means it's outside of function at the beginning of the script tags. So over here, I'm going to create let selected appetizer, and I'm going to make this equal to none because currently, have we selected anything? No, right? The user hasn't even started on the website. The user hasn't selected anything at the beginning of when the web page refreshes. So we're going to have this initialized to none. However, over here, we are going to be changing the variable's value. Over here, we're going to make selected appetizer initialized to the drop-down specific option. So we're just going to do drop-down, which is the variable over here. So first we're getting the drop-down menu, and then we're doing dot options because we want to get the ID of one specific option right here. So after we do dot options, we want to do brackets, and in these brackets we're going to be getting the selected index or the value. So once again, we want to do drop down dot, and now over here we're going to be doing selected index dot value. Now selected index right here, the purpose of this is pretty much just to say, like, I think you guys might know what index is. It's like being specific to one number in an array or some kind of attribute in an array. So over here, we're just saying we want to get the index of one specific option. So that's what we're doing right here by doing dot value, because dot inner HTML would mean something in the web page itself, as in some kind of text or something in a text box in an array, something of that sort. However, when we do dot value, this means we want to give value to something on the web page. So right after this, we want to do another if statement. So wait, before we move on, does anyone have any questions right now? Or should we wait for like 2 minutes and then move on so that you guys can just type everything in if you guys missed anything so far? Or is everyone good to move on? If your code is just white, do you mean like the white over here? Like this? Okay, that means that you're probably not typing in the right tags. So make sure that you're typing in these script tags. Um, do you want to copy and paste your code into the meeting chat? Adit. Just like the select item function. Wait, do you notice how when I copy paste it into my platform, it like isn't white anymore? So I think it might just be like your settings maybe. And also, you have a typo right here, take off that period. Maybe that gave some kind of error in your program. Otherwise, maybe it might just be because you're in a different like settings compared to mine in VS Code. So try doing that and let me know. But otherwise, for now, try to just get everything down. And when we run the code and if it's not working, let's see then. Is that fine? All right, so moving on. After we get the drop-down menu and we are specifically choosing oh, they're not working anymore? Wait, one sec. I feel like it's probably something in your header tags. I mean, in your body tags. I feel like you probably have some kind of error in your drop-down menus right here. So do you want to like copy paste that code and I'll look at that right now. Yeah, that's probably it then, because you had like the exact same code as me for this whole part, so that shouldn't be giving any kind of error, and it looked fine. So let's just look at your tag in your code in the body tags. All right, so oh, you got it? What was the issue? Do you want to share? Oh, okay, that makes sense. Like another select tag at the bottom. Okay. I'm glad you got that fixed on your own. That's great debugging skills that you're already developing within just like a few sessions. So, okay, where were we? I think we were... Okay, so we got the drop-down menu and we got the specific ID. So now we just have to assign these variables a value. So what I mean by that is now we want to say, okay, if they selected the first appetizer, then show this image. So we're just going to click enter, and now we're going to be doing another if statement. And in this if statement, we're going to specify which one of these they actually chose by using the ID itself. So now we're going to make selected appetizer, the variable that we just declared right up here. We're going to initialize this, or I mean, not initialize, we're going to check if this variable equals app1. And if it does equal app1, I'm going to use the variable that I created called image, and I'm going to set the image to app1. So I'm going to be setting the image to this option right here. So first of all, right here, we just got app1, our specific whatever like option we're choosing, and now we're going to set the image, which is the variable right here. So we're going to set the image to the folder that we named in our web development folder, the folder that we created at the beginning of the class, right? So after we create image source, we're going to just type in images slash, and I'm going to type in app1 pic dot png, and then I'm gonna put a quote around that to end the quotes, and then I'm gonna click space. And now I want to mention the width as well as the height of my picture, so I'm gonna just put 150 for the width, and then for the height I'm gonna do 150 by 100, and then I'm gonna close the tags. So right here what we did is we just said in this folder called images, there's a picture called there's a file called app1pic.png. I want you to show this picture, or I want to assign this picture to the variable image, and I want it to be assigned as with a width of 150 by a height of 100. All right, so now that we initialized the variable image to the picture, we want to display the picture, right? So over here, we're also going to be having else if statements for the rest of the appetizers. But right now, let's just see if the first image shows up. So if they select this one, we want to show that picture. So to show that picture, we need to get the picture to equal to the picture that's going to be shown. So we want that to equal to app.pic ID. So we want that image to show up right below the appetizer. So we mentioned how div IDs worked in our last session. So we're going to be utilizing div IDs once again. So right here, right after after the select drop-down menu for the appetizer, I want to create a div ID called app.pic ID. So over here, we're pretty much assigning a space right below the drop-down menu for appetizers for the image that's going to be displayed according to the user selected image. Or option, I mean. So to create the div ID, we're just going to type in div in less than signs, ID equals quote. I'm just going to do app pic ID and close these div tags, and I'm going to do another break tag right after the image. Actually, I won't do that right now. Let's just see how it looks, and then let's decide according to how we want our web page to look. So now that I have a space on the website, and by space on the website, what I mean is I'm saying right after appetizer, like this space right here, this space, I want this to be called div ID, app.pic ID, and I want over here an image to pop up when the user selects a picture, when the user selects a option. So now let's finally set this div ID to an image. So we're going to first do document .get element by ID, and then we're just going to in parentheses do a single quote, and then we're going to utilize the div ID that we just made. So that's called app.pic ID. So I'll copy that and paste it right there. And this is what's actually going to be on the web page, right? So this is the inner HTML. So we're going to do .inner HTML equals image. So this is really important right here. So we're getting this space in our web page with the code right over here, and we're saying we want this to equal this image after all these if statements and for loops, not for loops, if else statements and if statements are over, and we select what image or what option they chose. We want this image to show up, and we want that image to be initialized to that space, particularly in that space in the web page. So now I'm just going to control save this and refresh. And when I click Alfredo, oh, I didn't name mine that. Okay, this was a really common error, you guys. So make sure that whatever name you give, it corresponds to the picture and the name that you named here. So I'm going to rename this into app1pic. And I'm going to control save this again and refresh. Why is that not showing up? Oh, I just didn't refresh, guys. I thought there was something wrong with my code. I just didn't refresh. Oh my gosh. Okay, so now when I click Alfredo pasta, my image shows up. So this is where we want to be at for all of our options. And this is the code for how to do it for one of them. And I want you guys to go ahead and do that for the rest of the pictures or the options as well. So I'll just do one more. So I'll do the avocado toast because that's going to be a little different from the if statement. So now we're saying, okay, so if they selected the first appetizer, show this image. But now we're going to do else if. So otherwise, if selected appetizer or if they selected app 2, then I want to show app 2 pick. So I want to go ahead and do this for all of the appetizers now, and I'll let you guys go ahead and do that. And let me know how much time you guys need for that. So how much time are we thinking? Like maybe till 12:20? Because really it's just a bunch of copy and pasting, right? So right after that, let me know if till 20 is enough. And you can watch the recorded videos on YouTube in the Atmiya channel, and you'll probably get a link to that in the WhatsApp group as well. So does everyone understand what we just did, or are there any questions at all? Because I know I went kind of fast because I wanted to really get through the material for today. So please let me know if there's any suggestions on, how I can like better teach, because this is also my first time, you guys. I really don't know if I'm going about this correctly or if there's something else that I'm missing that you guys would prefer if I go slower or anything like that. So just let me know. You could send me a direct message in the meeting chat if you don't want everyone to see it. And just anything like that, just let me know in the meeting chat if you want me to go over anything, if you have any questions on any of this. But otherwise, right now, let's just work on this until 12:20 to get everything in the appetizers done.
For the drink, like how you made it shorter? Like for the appetizer, you made it like shorter into app.
Yeah.
How do you make the word drink shorter?
Oh, I just said bev. So instead of beverage, BEV.
No, not beverage, drink.
Just say drink then.
The whole word?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm really behind on the coding.
Yeah, it's fine. You have like 10 more minutes and you also have the video so you can look over this throughout the week. And just, if you have any missing code, it's all in the videos.
Can you send like your code? Like the copying, so I can copy paste it?
Yeah, for sure. Give me a few minutes. I'm working with someone right now, okay?
Okay.
Wait, Adit, in your selected appetizer, yeah, that's not an issue, but so for in your selected appetizer, when you're doing dot selected index, you put two E's for selected. So correct that spelling mistake. And then rerun your code and let me know. All right, and also for your when you're getting the image and when you're initializing the variable image, so like I'm talking about this part of the code, just do image src equals images slash and then put the name of the file type, right? And like whatever you name the file. Don't put like the whole C drive and then user slash added p slash webdev files. You don't have to do all that. It knows that the file images is in webdev files. So you can literally just do images slash app1 pick. So try doing that. How is everyone else doing right now? Are you guys all caught up, or are you guys, or any of you guys having any issues?
How do you make the word dessert shorter?
Wait, what?
The word dessert? How do I write that?
Like, how do you spell it?
Yeah. Like, do I put the whole thing? Or is it ESS? I mean DESS.
You can just put the whole word.
So for the word dessert?
Yeah, you can just put the whole word dessert if you'd like. You don't have to shorten everything. I just shortened these because they're like kind of long words, but that's fine.
Oh, okay. I thought that was like part of the coding. I mean
No, yeah. Yeah,
I
like
thought you
short
were
would
supposed
be
to do
helpful,
that.
but I just kind of like put them because like the words were longer, but like dessert, that's completely fine. You can just name it whatever you want. Try to make it something that'd be like that's memorable and like more efficient for you to type. So if it's like a longer word, instead of saying appetizer one, I just say app one.
Okay, I'll do DES. I mean DES. Yes. Okay.
Does anyone want to share like what their webpage looks like right now? You guys could, if any of your images work, you just click on the drop down menu and like let me know if it works. Like, okay, whose works right now? Like your images show up. Type it in the meeting chat for everyone to see, not like a direct message. Sahasra, Lakshmi, Vivek, Neha, Blicky. Does any of your guys' like work and Diti? Like if your images work and they're like showing up, let me know in the meeting chat just to like know where everyone is right now.
I didn't put like all of my things in,
Yeah?
like all of my pictures, so yeah.
Okay. Thank you for letting me know your progress. So if anyone needs help debugging or if they have any errors right now, let me know. Otherwise, I'm not able to make you guys a co-host right now. So unfortunately, we won't be able to share our progress today by screen sharing. But if you guys just want to talk about what you're like, what kind of website you guys want to create, like what kind of restaurant you want to do, let me know in the meeting chat and we can do that to end the meeting. Otherwise, if you guys are done getting your images to show up, you guys can leave the meeting. That's it for today.
Can I video call you instead after the class to show you the app?
I'll try to figure out how to make you guys the co-host for the next meeting so we can actually say that for the next meeting.
Okay, like I really wanted to share my screen.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I
show
really
that.
want to see all of you guys too, but I don't know how to make you guys the co-host. It like won't give me the option it did before. Yep, thank you
Okay.
for coming, everyone.
Can I stay here to see the notes?
Yeah, for sure. I'll be putting this in the WhatsApp group actually, so
Never mind. I'll just look at the WhatsApp one.
okay. Thank you for coming today.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you for hosting. I'm gonna leave the meeting now.